Open things up for questions for Coach.
Were you at all or how frustrated were you might have been with just the defensive effort? Because y'all really played strong defense. Even when y'all struggled maybe on the offensive end, you've compensated with defense.
Yes, sir. I think I don't know all the numbers yet, but for sure the worst numbers of the year regardless of opponent. They shot 55% from the field. I feel comfortable saying that's the worst. They scored 30 points in the paint. That we've probably been in that range on offensive rebounds before. 63% of their possessions, they got the ball to the paint, off the pass or the bounce. And in that 63%, they shot 76% from the field. So some of the things that have allowed us to be in games have been the design of what we do defensively, which is to keep the ball out of the paint. Percentage-wise, I would say it's the lowest percentage of threes we've forced. Obviously, if you can get to the paint at the rate they were, that should be the case. So Tuesday night on the road, Missouri, 70% of their field goals came from three. That was a record. And through 6 SEC games, over 50% of the field goals attempted when we were on defense have been from three. And then tonight, not near that. Highest number of bad shots we've taken all year long. So all of the things that we deem to be important, we did a really poor job. We contested their threes at a very low rate, the same number as what we did against South Carolina. Frustrated is probably the right word. I need to figure out a way to help them. I need to figure out a way how to help them understand that whether it's ball or not, I understand I'll be judged in accordance with the results, and I'm fine with that. But just for their life, just for whatever their careers become, whoever they become as men, regardless of ball, you will have to give your best effort and have a mentality to fight. And today we did not do that. And since Christmas, I think we've done really good with that.
You've talked before about the recipe for winning and how integral Debo is to that, especially in the rebounding. It's the third game that he hasn't had the same kind of numbers at rebounding. How detrimental to that is that to the recipe, and kind of what's changed?
Yeah, the recipe for sure, Travis, hasn't changed. His numbers have been down. Obviously, he's a good player. The scouting reports change. I love Nebo's heart. In his heart, he for sure wants to do right. I think it's a heavy burden what we're counting on him to be, but not more of a heavy burden than any other good player on any other good team. And I'm not saying we're good, but if we were going to have a chance to be good, Nebo and pick another player on the team, all of them have to give us their absolute best relative to their energy and their fight, if that's the appropriate adjective, in order for us to have a chance. It doesn't mean that it doesn't equal success, but in order for us to have a chance. And we were non-communicative on the court. We were on our heels, so to say. And for sure, we do not have the ability to overcome that.
Coach, you mentioned it being the most amount of poor shots. Was that a result of them going zone for most of the game and you guys not executing at the part, or just kind of how the game played out?
It may seem counterintuitive, and I tried to not give up strategic things on stuff that's tweeted out, but we kind of want teams to play zone, because that means potentially we'll turn the ball over less which means we hope we'll get more field goal attempts. And tonight, we did. But it's because if you're in a zone, I understand you're playing zone because the numbers say we can't shoot. I get that. We can't necessarily change that. But at least we get to shoot, as opposed to we're going to turn the ball over from the pressure. And so, no, sir, I don't think that the bad shots tonight were because they played zone. I think it was just another bullet point on the list of what's wrong. And that would, I think we took 2 bad shots at Missouri, which was 4% of our possessions. Tonight we took 10. We made 1, which is good. That was our 3rd bad shot field goal make through, how many games we played? 18 now?
Is that the JJ shot? Is that the one that went in?
I don't know. One of them did, but I don't know.
Did you happen to see what happened with JJ?
I didn't, but I asked the lead official what happened. He said, I asked him, what am I supposed to say to the media, because you got to look at it on the monitor, and I didn't see it. He said that he stepped on his head. It was a flagrant 2, which is an automatic ejection. I did not see it, nor have I seen it. But my question to him was, does that lead to something else? He said, no, it was not a fight, which leads to a suspension. It was a flagrant 2 automatic ejection.
Your team over the last 3 games has really produced a lot of offense on the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
How frustrating was it for your team to, not only you mentioned they took a lot more shots, but they were also missing opportunities at the free throw and just didn't get a lot of opportunities at the free throw line?
Sure, I do think if you're playing against a zone, you foul less. But I think our mentality, you can for sure see it in the numbers defensively. But like your question, it was on both ends. It wasn't we were good on one end and not good on another. We were bad on both ends, and our mentality, we do need to accrue. We don't shoot a great percentage from the free throw line, but it for sure eases our offensive stress level if we can get points at the free throw line. And we only attempted 14. And so that's I think that's about the percentage we typically shoot. I think we're a little higher than what we shot today, maybe 2 or 3%, but we need that for our points per possession. But it's just another indicator of our mentality and how we play.
Buzz, it would seem to us that you come off a good win in Missouri, kind of get feeling good about yourself, that you would stack bricks on top of bricks. Can you put your point on why today was a step back in maybe the wrong direction fight-wise?
I was thinking the same thing, and that's immature on my part, because I was thinking, hey, we just went on the road. The last time we went on the road, we came back and lost at home. We haven't been very good on anything we do, words we use, our first rep. We've been poor. So I was thinking, okay, this is our second chance at that. We normally do better in a drill the second time we do it instead of the first time. But that was immature on my part for thinking that. You're right, stack good things on top of good things. I agree. The only way I could specifically answer that question is the only way you can stack bricks is mortar. And it's really hard to make mortar. The bricks are going to be in a pile. You buy the bricks, they're already bricks. But if you're going to build something, you know where the bricks are. But where I'm from, you have to mix mortar in a wheelbarrow. And we probably don't have enough guys that have mixed mortar. So we got to get better at mixing mortar.
Coach, I know it's easy for Oklahoma State to leave this game saying that this is kind of a game that they needed for the run they had been on to kind of turn things around for conference. On your side of things, is this a game that is a little bit frustrating to play right now because of the way that you left the court having to go back into conference, or is it another learning opportunity?
I don't know how many of these, Travis, I'll end up coaching in. This was the first one. But like we talked about on Thursday, it's the first rep of playing a non-conference game during conference play. And I'm not blaming the SEC. I would say it's great exposure on multiple levels. And the intrigue that comes with an out-of-conference matchup the day before the Super Bowl. But to answer your question, regardless of where we play, regardless of who we play, regardless even of what time we play, our issues are still the same. And our recipe to give ourselves a chance are still the same. And I don't think that our struggles today were because OSU's 0-6 in the Big 12. You've seen these same issues in guarantee games that Texas A&M paid for. And so regardless of locale or opponent, we have to address our issues, and our execution level of those things have to be for sure better than good and approaching great for us to have a chance. And we were not good in any category. And so that's a reflection of me. That's a reflection of, like the last question, hey man, you guys just won Tuesday night late at Missouri, and you're playing a matinee game, and it's Big 12, SEC, and it's on ESPN channel, and you're at home, and a few people had a break in their schedule and could come, and then we're just a dud. You know those little firecrackers that your parents would let you buy when they didn't want you to have fire, and you could take it out and throw it and it would pop? Those were the firecrackers they let my parents let me play with. You know, you can't have bottle rockets and all the stuff that goes in the air. Here's those little things, and throw them on the ground, boop. And then maybe throw three, and if you throw them at the same time, it's like boo, 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 boo. We threw it on the ground today and went, that's a dud.